signing after Matthias Cunha, Mario Lemina. I am very happy about this. I think this is a near perfect signing, especially for the fee. I've seen some negativity about it on Twitter and stuff, which I can kind of understand, but let me put my argument forward for why I think this is like a really good signing. So, I think a lot of people go on like FBref nowadays and just look at like someone's numbers and, they look at percentiles and stuff, as do I. And look, Mario Lemina is a very simple player. He's a guy that has great defensive output. He can dribble a bit and pass. And anyone can like read this and see that. Like this is a guy that's on over 5 tackles and interceptions per 90 in Liga and has an 88% pass completion rate, which is very good. And it's very rare to find a player that's kind of both of those things. And like, if you look at Nice in Liga, they're a middling side for possession. So, normally teams, a guy that's in a mid-table side, they'll have either really jacked defensive numbers but not be great on the ball, or the other. And Mario Lemina is kind of both and can dribble a bit. If you're a midfielder and you're on over a dribble, that's good. And look, he's not someone that's particularly creative with his passing. He's not good in the air. He doesn't have any like attacking output. But the thing I like about Lemina, I thought he was really good at Fulham, and I thought he was really good at Southampton. Whenever I watched him, I didn't watch him at Galatasaray, and I've never watched him at Nice. But what I like about Lemina is every time, if you go and look at his numbers from every season, so those are his numbers from this season. If you go look at his numbers from last season, it's exactly the same. 4.5 tackles and interceptions per 90, good on the ball, decent dribbler. If you look at his season before that, which is obviously at Fulham, where I saw someone on Twitter trying to tell me that he was bad at Fulham. The guy was on nearly 5 tackles and interceptions per 90 in the Premier League and over a dribble. And I know 82% pass completion rate's lower than what it is at Nice, but like Fulham are worse than Nice. Do you know what I mean? So like, I think that's a weird thing to hold against him. If you look at his final season at Southampton, again, nearly 5 tackles and interceptions per 90, again, over a dribble, again, a good pass completion rate. And his first season at Southampton, again, good defensive numbers, nearly 3 dribbles per 90. That's a bit of an outlier, but whatever, good pass completion rate. Obviously, Southampton were a lot better back then. But the point I'm making is if you look at every Mario Lemina season over the last 5 years, it's consistent. Southampton are a completely different side to Fulham. Nice is a completely different, it's a completely different league to Fulham and Southampton. Wherever he's been, depending on the country, the league, style of play, whatever, his numbers have always just been the same. And I think Wolves needs someone like that right now. He's 29, he's playing the Premier League, I assume he can speak English. He's a proven guy that you know what you're going to get from him. He'll just sit in front of the back four, he'll sweep up and have good defensive output, and he'll recycle it, and he'll occasionally dribble you out of a tight situation. And it's, what, a £10 million fee? Like, I don't see why people are moaning about this. I saw someone on Twitter was saying to me, he doesn't get in our best 11. What? What are you on about? Like, he does get in. If you look at his numbers from purely at Nice, they're better than Ruben Neves' defensive numbers. They're better than Boubacar Traore's defensive numbers. They're better than Nunez's defensive numbers. If you look at his dribble numbers, only Nunez beats him. And if you look at his pass completion and those sort of numbers, it's not that different to Ruben Neves and Jan Martino. I'm not saying he's better than Ruben Neves, by the way. I'm just making the point that people are acting like Lemina wouldn't start for us in a midfield 3. In my opinion, a chatting shit. Like, I think he would. In a midfield 2, he wouldn't start over Neves or Nunez. Fine, I get that. But I think Wolves have this. We've got this. We've got it drilled in our head that like we can't have depth. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you look at our midfield, we've got 6 midfielders, right? But Connor Ronan doesn't count. Let's be honest. No offense, Connor, but you don't count. Jan Martino is going to leave in the summer. Ruben Neves is probably going to leave in the summer. I don't think Nunez probably will leave in the summer, but there's a good chance he does. So then you've got Joe Hodge and Boubacar Traore. That's it. So odds are we're probably going to lose at least 2 midfielders and maybe bring in at least 1. So I'd rather just bring in Lemina now and bed him in, and then at least you've got an option. Plus, we need a midfielder now anyway. Like Joe Hodge, I think Joe Hodge has been fine. I think he's been all right. I think he's been pretty good. But we still need an extra body in there. And I think we've got it drilled in our head because of Nuno that we don't deserve depth or something. Like when Hugo Bueno broke through, all I saw on Twitter was people saying, "Oh, we need to sell Nuri now," and it's like, no, we don't. Like, we're allowed to have depth. I think it's still drilled in our head from the Nuno days that you can only have a squad of 15. Like, we deserve depth, bro. Like, it's drilled in our heads that whenever someone comes in, it's oh, someone has to leave. No, they don't. Like, having Ruben Neves, Moutinho, and Dendoncker as our midfielders for the last 5 years is embarrassing. As much as I like all those players, well, I don't really like Dendoncker, but and by the way, for the fee, we got 14 million euros for Dendoncker. Lemina, we're paying less for Lemina. He's 10 times the player that Leandro Dendoncker is. 10 times. But we deserve depth. We're entitled to have that. We're a Premier League club, for fuck's sake. We shouldn't have for the last 4 years before this season, we've had 3 midfielders. Do you know how embarrassing that is? 3. Like we need some depth. Like we can't just keep going on with Neves and Moutinho every year. And if Nunes and Moutinho and Neves do leave, then we need someone in now. Like you can't just buy a whole new midfield in the summer and expect it to gel. Like you can't. So I like this signing. He's Premier League proven. He's played in a 4-4-2 a lot as well. He's always played in midfield twos. I think it will help Collins and Kilman as well. Like Collins and Kilman have got a lot of stick this season, like a lot, and I kind of understand why. I don't actually think either of them have been that bad. I think Collins has been better than Kilman personally. But you know, if you're playing in a back four, you need like a midfield and fullbacks to like cover you. You can't do everything on your own. And I'm not saying they've been perfect or anything, but I think if you get a guy, football's not a complicated thing. If you get a guy like Lemina who can dribble out and do loads of defensive stuff, that will help your fullbacks. Football's not complicated. It's a very simple game. If you get a defensive midfielder in front of them, like I love Ruben and all, but he's not. He is a defensive midfielder. But if you had Lemina and Neves, that's a more stable midfield too. Or if you have Nunes in there in a free, that's a more stable midfield, and that will probably help Kilman and Collins. Probably allow them to do more ball progression. It'll probably allow them to be a bit more secure. He's a good age. Lemina, this is. He's a good age. He's Premier League proven. His numbers are consistent. I don't think that fee's that bad. I've seen people moaning about the fee. First of all, who cares? It's not your money. But even so, we sold Dendoncker for 14 million euros. What's 10 million euros? 12 million? So we're making £2 million profit. Like, come on, get a grip. It's also nice that Wolves actually have some midfielders who can progress the ball as well. Lemina can do it, Nunes can do it, and Boubacar Traoré can do it. And I think people are just being harsh on Lemina because one, he's not a big name. But also because they look at Fulham and go, oh, he got relegated with Fulham. It's like, yeah, fine, but so did Andre Zambo Anguissa. So did Nathan Collins. Loads of players get relegated. It doesn't mean they're bad players. So yeah, and also people will go, oh, well, he's just done well at Nice now, and his numbers have got really good at Nice, but he didn't do it in the Prem. Like, Liga and the Premier League are pretty similar. Like, Liga is a very physical league. Like, I don't think there'll be an issue with Lemina, like, adapting back into the Premier League at 29. And also, Lemina's a guy we tried to buy before. Remember I think it was Nuno's final year, or maybe his second year, we tried to get Lemina off Southampton on deadline day on loan, and it fell through. I feel like I'm not making that up. I'm pretty sure that happened. So yeah, overall, I just think it's a brilliant signing. Like I don't know why some people are moaning about it. Good age, a position we need, depth, played in the Premier League before. Lopetegui apparently wants him. He's been on the club's radar. It's just a great signing. So stop moaning about it. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel. I haven't really been uploading, but I've been busy in my personal life. But yeah, I thought fuck it, I'll do one for this. So if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Yeah, peace.